10:51. Good timing. Now, the U.S. government, America, Ghana, Moka say, if your man come to Ghana, no, and America for the letter Bremo. The American government, through the U.S. Embassy, Ghana, omo de krata bia beto abonti na krata ni mo dene. Mebe kinkan krata no na ma kire eyeso amefo the U.S. Embassy in the history of the Republic of Ghana ebin sida. And the American government the krata bre Ghana for se monjina monkenkan asema ye ka kire mu ni ebin sida. It is only under the leadership of Akufo-Addo. Ebin sida. And this letter should tell you Ghanaian now and say the whole world, they have been watching us, especially the United States. The intelligence the US government or Ghana no Kandapa does not have. So when they write a letter to give to Ghanaians and say, hey, you people, the democracy that you have protected, democracy that Kwame Nkrumah mo fighting for, John Mahama mo Atanos mo nyina be fighting for, no, it is on the brink. Democracy is hanging on a thin line, and they are worried because they don't want to look. They don't just want to sit back and watch. They are seeing that there are some people in Ghana who are basically not ready to protect your democracy. They are worried for you. Because now you have so many problems, more problems, and so I'm going to because now US don't they have problems? They have problems, but you fools come to them for money. So it means if they have a problem, your problem is bigger than theirs because they can solve their problem. How about you? For Jimmy, what the US government is telling you. Moment can let no. Ediabano eni egigim. And another Dankwe Akufo-Addo also a lawyer. John Dramani Mahama on call law school, or the president for 4 years, 3 months. U.S. government did not see the need to write a letter on election day or a week or 40 days to elections. The U.S. government, no superpower wrote a letter to us because there was nothing like we have a president who is unpredictable. There was nothing like we have a government that is unpredictable. There was nothing like we have a government that can kill its own people and laugh. Now we have gotten to that point where the U.S., the Europeans will be following suit. They have done their checks and they know that we are living with people. In fact, people we are giving power to who are dangerous to this country. Now, Omeletano, Etiripono Enye. Visa restriction policy on undermining democracy in Ghana. US for embassy of Ghana through the State Department. Omacho letter Abre Ghana say, visa, omo de tabono ebeto. Nipakuo bi so a eni sɛ yɛ mo visa mo free Ghana every say ɔmo ni sɛ saa nipakuo fo no ɔmo no ya nhwɛ ne yɛ a ɔmo bɛ sɛ kebi ma min kebi no mo dwane for now ɔmo ma edin bia ɔmo sɛ ɔmo de mmra bi to hɔ a nipakuo bi a ɔmo wɔ Ghana ɔmo hwɛ ɔmo a ɔmo abɔ mo tirim pɔ sɛ yɛ kebi ma min kebi no ɔmo bɛ sɛ no no obi ani wa ɔba bɛfa abɛgye visa abɛwurem akɔ US ɔmo sɛ ɔmo ni da fam asem we etipo no kwa o se ma we yem hyehyem na ye den that means say omo ka kire okasa kwa mu say ye woni pa bi a omo aban mu omo wo Ghana omo tumi a omo amadwene say omo be say mo man no we nya grow we eye gigim be so to man pipi o ya boa na ma min dwedwam ma men kan krata no na eye Ghana ye nyina ye hu US for brofo no so be steady abrofo no plain and straight. Thank away statement way if you Ghana government when a bank count mean kind and the Article 17 of the Constitution has declared and the shall straight that be way a US for Tibrofono and with the ho teacher Kofi Munina Tiasie. The United States and press statement Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State, on the letter we buy on an insashasie your friend Anthony J. Blinken, Secretary of State. October 28, 2028. Or non an insashasie. Intenya letter wa. That's what US Department of State. US Department of State. Enye letter wa. Sa kala we a san enye obi a na wo bi. Omo special paint bi no ma make so menya kala we. Unta nya ne sa keke. Omo tena ho e na omo di we abrɛ. Now, omo say
Short, Short Movie and TV.
The United States is committed. The United States is committed to supporting and advancing democracy in Ghana and around the world. I'm saying US, United States. Omo de ade do makoma so say kebi ma min kebia de ebo nkuro ho ban ebo nipa ho ban wo wiase afa na nyina no ade a eda makoma so yendwedwam. The Department of State is announcing a new visa restriction policy today that will restrict US visas for any individual responsible for undermining democracy in Ghana. Almost say and the tuja ama Ghana for nyina your president obia atiase say US ekuro ene aban no almost say de emra bi to ha nipakuo bi a omabo mutimu po say kebi ma min kebi wo Ghana betiem ase no ama Ghana kuro no abo during this election no sa nipakuo no de emra bi to say sa nipakuo no enya ade a be ma kwan ma obegi visa abewura US betena Ghana enya ade be pene ema sa mu nipa no efri Ghana aba US. Now, Omoko Minmo say this policy will take effect in advance of Ghana's presidential and parliamentary elections scheduled to take place December 7, 2024. Omze sambra we omode ahye no. Omre ato afitine ya kopensi e beto aba, ne ato aba kora wie. Enti anya se debi mra. Omso mo hye ne from enne. Nipakuo bi omo Ghana ewo tumi ewo abanmu ewo tumi a omo tumi ti Ghana ehyehyɛ mmara ma nyoma bemu no omo se enne omo de mmara eto ho se o tumi wo Ghana na wa adwene se Ghana kebi ma min kebi no o pese odi koti kwan bi sei no omo aye omo hwehwemu aye omo research omo wo intel omo nya ready se omo be share ba omo di nka abo obi akokɔ nipakuo bi omo Ghana omo wo tumi omo adwene se omo be sei Ghana tumi ni betuma free easy 2 minutes between free Jubilee House, 2 minutes between free Finance Ministry, 2 minutes between free National Security, 2 minutes between free the Ghana Army, a between free the Ghana Police, a between free anybody who has power or say, Oma yomo juma ayomo dia investigations and who say nipe bia ya oma dwene. Na omo catch Ghana for some of them brabia to everything ne. E copy me say beto aba na to aba na wie. Sa nipa ko bia obeye no ho ke obi ani wo free Ghana ye nyira betirim manahye. Yan to aso na mindwedwam. Team, are you still with me? Now, young queen, US for no ejum, mamijum. This visa restriction policy would apply only to specific individuals who undermine democracy and is not directed at Ghanaian people nor the government of Ghana. When you find a diplomatic statement, almost say. Sam Rana Omashano, Mrebia Sebio apply to Nipakubi. Almost say Sam Rano, Mrebia apply only. This policy would apply only to specific individuals. Or see, Sam Brawe Omashana Mriatuana, almost say Omodi Bedijumano. Nipakubi Pana fa omu. Na Sebio enya Ghana. Mine nkwa ene sebio Ghana fo nkwa ne form it means so culture say so wudi boni wo Ghana o say Ghana fa bi ma kebia untumi nko Togo because a homo US embassy wo enko fa onko US untumi nko Benin enko embassy wo nko say okoji visa ako US untumi nko Ivory Coast untumi nko in fact the Sub-Saharan Africa ha US embassy wo say okoji visa ako America into am say sa emra we no nipa ku bi na mo hwe mo pa wo Ghana na ensanya Ghana for nkwa etrem. That means our borders baby a US embassy borders wo your borders are US embassy wo nyina eka ho. It won't mean say oh say Ghana democracy during the election, after the election, and then go to Togo and go seek for visa and fly to the US, or go to Ivory Coast, go to Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, or go to like no. Almost say enye Ghana nkwa omatrim restriction no e cover the peripheries no esopa yendjum. Almost say Ghana has achieved 3 decades of democratic elections and the peaceful transfer of power between parties, a record to be proud of and a model to cherish. Bro, for na mebe chiro no. Se bro ni kan sem we ya na ɔtwe wadwene esi bibi so ɔse Ghana kebi mami kebi no eba eye kebi mami kebi a yenya kebi mami kebi asesa aban beye emfie duasa na ɔmo ni sɛ Ghana eye kebi mami kebi ya somwa besi mpempensue yi ɔka wasɛm ɔbɛsɛ ɔkyerɛw sɛ from Kwame JJ Rawlings time yɛto aba beduru ende no yenya emre bia yɛbɛto aba nipa bia ɔmadwene sɛ ɔmo bɛsɛ yɛ democracy no na mmom de ende de mu democracy ni yambɔ ho ban a from ende no yenya democracy ni biom enti saa kasa we sa wo kyerɛ statement ema a diplomatic statement that these are the kind of language you use and it's a menya wo kyerɛ dwudwoma kyerɛw enti ɔmo kan abakwasɛm sɛ montwa mo ni hwɛ mo chi da ban na aban bi ba so a ye ne US ya kyerɛ letter mpo abɛka saa asɛm we bi da sɛ na aban ba so monya kebi mami kebi abesi ha empempensuo we it means say from your past no it has been good but we are telling you say now it is not safe. Mature brofo, mature comprehension, mature how to understand. So obi show diplomatic statement and mature wono. Omuko meni mo say the United States readiness, a record to be proud of and a model to cherish. The United States readiness to impose visa restrictions if circumstances warrant is an example of our support for the aspiration of all Ghanaians for a peaceful, transparent, and credible electoral process that reflects the will of the people. Brofo, very important. Say adikudie ntia US edi samra we beto no say omo pese omo bo ye kebi mami kebi ho ban during election we send ye be conduct elections no ene sebio emu beda ho fine ena sebio eye process no obi enchiti obi mbu obi emu beda ho krogen se ne be ya e de asumdwe beba se ne be ya nipa omo Ghana no de omo pe ene besi tie omo say adikudie nti omo to no emra we beto no nyina ne say omo pese ye to aba and the will of the people should be what will prevail. It almost say when the will of the people do not or does not prevail, there's a problem. In this nipa bi wa aban mu nipa bi di manim no ma imagine say the majority of the people no say omo pe John Mahama omo pe NDC na say nipa bi wa aban mu nipa bi wa EC nipa bi wa national security nipa bi wa military nipa bi wa Jubilee House no omo say omo otumi omo person omo tie ma US for one catch omo say that will not be accepted because the will of the people is the will of God. Into the end nipa ne ye no enti na omo ka say I say election no emu ye korogyen yeah. Obanyansafo yebuni be oka ne nkrema o se oba kemi ekemi be kese obanyansafo yebuni be yenka na sem oba kemi ekemi be yanto aso nkrafo dem ka na monka obukwa asem firi so now okwa asia wa second paragraph ye dwudwam unye bi obebia eya hankoa na obenya we enti dem ka no se show no de ehia eni tina Ghana mpenifo ne nkwara ne mpenifo obi ahwe yenya time ne dwudwam. Now, the second paragraph says this. All right, Mr. P. Mr. S, good. The visa restriction policy is pursuant to Section 212A, 3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act and allows the Department of State to implement visa restrictions for individuals believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Ghana, including through the manipulation, including mame fani bio na hanede ana say inkukum ai mame fani bio ade wona mo hu se posan ehu rough ana kufu ada people ana mo yam sere brand champon mo ehu rough. The visa restriction policy is pursuant to Section 212A, 3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act and allows the Department of State to implement visa restrictions for individuals believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Ghana, including through the manipulation or rigging of the electoral process, the use of violence to intimidate, coerce, or prevent people from exercising their rights to freedom of association and peaceful assembly, the use of measures designed to intimidate, coerce, or prevent political parties, representatives, voters, or members of civil society or the media from voicing or disseminating their views or engaging in any other activity designed to improperly influence the conduct or outcome of an assembly ever de assembly nyina na ha na show assembly na make US for nsem yesi broni obema aduane ayeda cheese no de hye mfimfin ene na nkrafo kan over bemi broninyo cheese ebomi o si aduane broni bema aduane ayeda o de cheese de hye mfimfin akosi broni fe efu de komi edo bomi no cheese I say broni se aduane be da o de cheese de hye mfimfin o be o de cheese na be hye cheese na ha na hye o si mo de munim de eba MPP nka munja aba no na monka se Ghana fo ye nyina ye se pe NDC mom ye nko yenim munim de asi abrofo na se mom ka nyina nso emra emom ho kwan na samra no ye fe no eye de eye restriction policy the visa restriction policy no frɛ no section 212A 3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act o se emom ho kwan se nipa bia wa na adwene se aba ye beto no Ghana ye be bobo aba obesesa aba no ye beto aba obetata nipa ye beto aba obe prevent nipa from se omoto aba ye beto aba obefa koti kwan bi so ahye nipa bi so ye beto aba omo a mbra so omo ka aba no ho asem se ye beka omo kasabo ahye omo eyem omo asebio omo pese omo kire omo adwene a ye beka omo adwene ahye omo tirim omo a ye betata omo a ye betwituo abo omo tuo omo a omo ti omo kurase a ye di police fo bekwa gina omo so omo wo kwan se omo hwe aba no se emuda ho a ye beka se omo ntena fie e de etuo betata omo sebio Ghana fo a nipa bi be o magin say omo dada omo magye eye emraboni bi atum ababoni bi atum US for aban say nipa bi o Ghana obebo no hu musuo ene US no e kire sa nipa no oni US no eko omo say omo mpene ne omo mpene china omo mpese de see 2020 de bi be si wo Ghana if you say whether you like it or not US omo property wo Ghana upeu omo ewe japade wo Ghana 2020 de call no mu huye they saw the news they investigated it they know what happened omo says so why wa adwene mpo wa bo wutiri mu po say o pese wudi bone o pese o kan nipa bi kasa bo ahye omyem o tata nipa bi even civil societies on pese o kasa and say Franklin Kujomo o pese o tata omo et say eye de asepa mo et say omo itu omo wesi so o ka no kre et say eye de nipa bi a omo ka no kre Ghana fo bi pese o koto aba wo be gina omo so say omo ntu ni sei nipa bi a wodi tuwa ko gina omo so ubotuo wo hwe nsuogu nipa so wo isia o dane aba electoral commissioner wakoji sika o dane aba omo say musio kaun na so muso mu ose emusi ewiase enya wode the United States is the biggest, the most powerful nation on this planet, and I say it with all the joy. The US has its own problems, but the US is not selfish. As much as they have their own problems, they are still looking out for people. And people like Ghana, a country like Ghana, the US is not selfish to ignore Ghana for Ghana to go through this kind of tyranny. They are not saying by force to Abako say. They are just telling people who will be leading this election that do the right thing. The will of the people is the most important thing. Into the US as a country is looking, is watching. Before the United States of America ever release a letter saying, no, I had investigations in Nipo be winning elections. No, I had research in Nipo be winning elections. No, I had research in Bebia, Nipebia form why you saw Mukunipa. No, I had investigations in Nipebia one national security on some deep money. Why had investigations in our communications or telephone or BBR, but Bibinti and a sofo a preachy. Na Obaba na him was sorry them or you need to soro until say Bibi Beka papa and je prede into more my imagine say on those people who have these intentions of committing some crazy chaos to win elections. You have been warned. Nobody should come around later and say this was never said. This letter should not be treated lightly. This is a straight caution to protect our democracy. And this is coming from the most powerful nation on the planet. Whether you like it or not, it's your own problem. Abrofo kra echa US visa abaha. Abrofo echa US lottery. It shows how powerful the United States is. It might have its own problems, but you cannot take away their superpower from them. Me say, bro, ni kwat ni krum epe US lottery eba America. It should tell you something. It has its own problems, but it is big enough to take care of everybody. Obanyansafo ebuni be yen kana sem. Letter no ne kra no de etwato no enie. Certain family members of such persons may also be subject to these restrictions. Persons who undermine democracy in Ghana, including in the lead up to, during, and following Ghana's 2024 elections, may be found to be ineligible for visa under this policy. Almost say, Munipa na moya ma adwiri mu pose mo bebo sa abra no, mo ma ene mo yire no mo kura no, sambra we ekamo. Obi di se Brian Champon a otumi sende tax ekobotuo ya se wo yire ne wo ma wo ba na oti US ano US government ni mebi oti o enti ase mu a mabɔ mutiri mu po sa mo be se Ghana na mo se Ghana ene mo nchime na mo yire ne mo ma na betena abrochire e de se osono maame abeto dan wo New Jersey no. The US government say or ka kire mo say sa emra we ehye mo ene hye mo yire ene mo ma. Don't think say when I would dibon no or yere no mbaba betena America, nobody ye betinem into pen ye a yenye ye so open ye a and ye be mia wo nko awokon obanyansafo yebuni be yen kana sem asamaba